Yes, welcome in, welcome in. How is everybody doing on this Tuesday? I'm going to say before I start, right as I was starting, my mic clip decided to break on me, so I'm handhelding. I'm holding the mic today. This is a heavy-duty mic, so I need to get a heavy-duty mic clip, I guess. I do have more, but I didn't have enough time to go grab it because it happened literally just the second before I was going to be here with you guys. So I'm hand-holding the mic today. It's no problem. I'm used to it. But how is everybody doing on this Tuesday? My name is Nick Harkson. We're over here on Touchdown Detroit Lions on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Where we cover all Lions news throughout the offseason, the regular season. We're right now in the offseason. We all know that. And we do got some Lions news today. I'm going to let some people get in here real quick before we start getting into too much. But how's everybody doing? How we feeling? What's up, Mary Peterson? How you doing? We actually got to see some Lions in action this week, and we'll get more into that in a second. But I'm happy because the name of this segment is called Touchdown Detroit Lions, and we got to see some touchdowns from some Detroit Lions. So yeah, who watched the Pro Bowl? The Pro Bowl games this past weekend, they were definitely different this year. A lot of less contact. The Pro Bowl, they're not really trying anyways. But it was cool to see them compete in these type of games that they did. And we had some guys out there, like I said. Let's start with, our guys there were Jared Goff, Ragnow, Sewell, and of course the Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. But Goff came out there in the accuracy competition, I believe, where the quarterbacks are passing, trying to hit the targets, and he came out hot. I mean, he hit his deep targets like that, like right away, but then he kind of struggled with the check down targets, which is surprising because he's normally, automatic with those, and that's what he normally does. But the check down targets didn't have arms or anything to catch it, so maybe that's the deal. If it was Amon-Ra out there running around, he's catching it every single time instead of these robotic targets out there. But, and then Goff, in the game, he did fall over and fumble, and I think he threw a pick as well. But he did throw a touchdown. He threw a touchdown to Dalvin Cook, and then he had another Minnesota Vikings hookup with his old buddy who used to be on the Lions. I'm talking about TJ Hawkinson. He threw for a 2-point conversion to him, and, it was a bullet in there, but he kind of forced it in there. But I'm glad to see that they linked back up. It kind of made me miss TJ Hawkinson. And then after that, Ragnow, Goff, and him all took a selfie together. I want to know where Amon-Ra was. Then I know Amon-Ra is a competitive guy. Maybe he's like, I'm not messing with TJ. He's on the other team now. And same with Sewell, but I know they're probably on the sideline. So I'm not going to dig too much into that at all. But it was cool to see the Goff and TJ connection again. But it did kind of, he was forcing it to him once again. And this was a flag football game. It doesn't even matter. It was a Pro Bowl game. But Goff was out there trying to force it to Hawkinson, just like he was when TJ was on the team. And, maybe that's why they made the trade. Hawkinson's a great player. I loved him when he was on the team, and I was disappointed to see him go. But Goff's numbers went up tremendously once he left. And you kind of saw what the problem was while he was there, is that Goff was just trying to force him the ball too much. They obviously have a buddy connection, or not so much a football connection. I mean, they would connect and they would make great plays, but Goff was always just trying to force it to him, is what I felt. And maybe that's why Hawk's gone, but that's old news. They hooked back up in the Pro Bowl, and that was good to see. Moving on with a little bit more Pro Bowl news, we saw Penei Sewell and Ragnow in the best hands competition, which was kind of weird to see linemen in there. But we all know Sewell's got hands, but they had water balloons. Sewell caught his. He tossed his up high in the air to Ragnow and a splash in his face. It was pretty hilarious. And then Sewell got into another competition where he ran through a wall. And, he looked like an absolute animal out there. I love that he's on our team and that he dropped to us in the draft a few years ago. A lot of people wanted us to get Chase from LSU, who's on the Bengals now, but I think it worked out better for both teams. He's with his boy Joe Burrow, and we got Penei Sewell, who worked out a lot better for us. It was fun. It was fun to see him out there, and I think that the draft just worked out great for us with us getting Sewell. He's more of a Dan Campbell type guy, a Detroit style guy, and I just love that he's on our team. But last but not least about the Pro Bowl, we had the Sun God out there representing. We had Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not only did he catch a touchdown, but he also won the best hands competition. The first one they got to record, he did a little flip in the pool. That was kind of cool. I mean, it definitely took some agility and skills to do that, to be able to flip and see the ball and catch it like that. But then, he came out at the Pro Bowl, had a little help from his brother, which was also kind of cool. They had to get creative with what they had to work with, and I think he did. He was the most creative. But I'm just proud of our guys getting out there having fun. Amon-Ra winning the best hands competition, or the best catch competition. But he also did something that kind of shocked me that I hope is fake. He got a tattoo of Pete Davidson on his bicep, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And if you don't know who Pete Davidson is, that guy is a goon or a fool. I don't know. Goon, some people take that as a good way. I mean it in the bad way. He's a goof. Anyways, no disrespect to him, actually. He didn't do nothing wrong to me. But I just thought it was crazy that he got a tattoo, and I hope it's fake. It looked fake. Pete Davidson, hope it's fake. Just wash that thing off tomorrow. That would be a crazy tattoo for Amon-Ra to have. Anyways, let's get into some real news. That was all Pro Bowl news. I'm going to look into the comments real quick. What's up, Kim? What's up, John? Patty Grimes, what's good? Dustin, how you doing, man? Yo, just wanted to apologize. Last time I was here, didn't mean to take your show away from the Lions. You're good, man. Hey, this is the off season. You don't have to apologize for anything. I appreciate all comments. We're going to just talk football as long as it, NFC North related, it was. I think you talked about Aaron Rodgers. No need to apologize, brother. I appreciate you just in the comments in general. So no worries about that at all. All right, so we're going to get into some news with the Lions. As we all know, Big Deuce Staley left the Lions and went to Carolina. Now, it's believed, and I think that it was brought to light, that he's going there to be closer to his family, and the Lions respected that, and, they understood. They said, yeah, go ahead and go. Of course, it's a huge loss for a team. I love Deuce. Just his energy at practice and seeing him on Hard Knocks, I really became a fan of him. I mean, I already liked him kind of the way that he ran in the league before, but just seeing the way that he coaches, I really liked it, and I was sad to see him go. But Deuce is a class act, and, he did go. He went to Carolina to be closer to his family, but before he left, he reached out to every single guy on the offense, his guys, and he told them he was leaving and why he was leaving, and I just think that that's huge as a coach to do, because a lot of them would honestly just say, peace out, I'll see you when we play you next year. Wouldn't even think to call or message the guys or talking to him in person. So I think that Deuce doing that and saying his goodbye and letting them know why is very respectable. And it just, it speaks volumes on the kind of guy that Deuce Staley is. But now we've already replaced him. So, I'm going to miss Deuce big time. But we've moved on already. And that's what you got to do in this league. That's just how it goes. But yeah, we have hired Scotty Montgomery, and he is going to be the same role as Deuce Staley was with the Lions. He's going to be the assistant coach, and he's also going to be the running backs coach. But he's coming from the Colts, and he was the running back coach. But, I don't know much about Scotty Montgomery, but it does seem like he's very well respected in the league, and especially with the Colts organization. I mean, They got a great running back over there that they drafted and he developed. And, maybe I'm not saying that we're going to go and draft a running back, but Taylor's doing great things for him when he's healthy. And if he has anything to do with that development of him, then I think that he could do some good things over with the Lions. I think that, I didn't do too much research on him, but he does kind of seem like he's going to fit the Detroit mold, the Dan Campbell style. And I think that it's going to work out. I really, like I said, I love Deuce, but he's well respected. He's already proven that he can have his running backs running hard for him. Jonathan Taylor's a beast. And, I'm excited to see what he can do with this team and what he brings to the team. I wish that we had Hard Knocks again this year just so I could kind of see how these coaches do it, because I'm not out there at the practices. But Detroit Lions, if you're listening, let me get some media passes this year to come to the practices so I can relay the messages to the fans a lot better. But no, I'm just reaching right there. But anyways, yeah, that's our new coach, Scotty Montgomery, coming over to be the running back / assistant head coach. And we'll see how it works out. Like I said, I think it's going to be fine. He seems like a Dan Campbell type. But who knows? We don't know. Some other coaching news going on with the Lions. Aaron Glenn has been informed by the Arizona Cardinals that he will not be getting the head coaching job. So, and he was favored to win that job is what I thought. But it's all rumors and speculation going around, and it's just a bunch of beat writers out there making up rumors so they can get some more views and whatnot. But yes, it's good to hear. At least in my eyes, I want Glenn back. Now, he's not completely out of the running in the Colts decision. I think that he's still a candidate there. And the Colts just announced a few minutes ago, actually, well, right before this episode started, that they're going to make their decision within a few days. Not hours, but a few days, and they're thoroughly thinking it over. So Glenn's not out of the running there. But if I were to guess, I don't think he's going to be the head coach there. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. But I would like to see Aaron Glenn come back. I think that what he did at the end of the season, the second half of the season with the Detroit Lions was great. It wasn't great, but it was a tremendous turnaround to come from being one of the worst defenses in the league, giving up 30-plus points a game, to coming back and, giving up 20 or less points for a lot of those games and really holding their own. I know that they still have a lot of work to do, but I think if we bring in the right personnel, draft some more defense, or, address it in free agency, like I said, Aaron Glenn can do better. And now I know a lot of people are not happy with how much he runs man coverage, but maybe that was the best scenario for us. Maybe we weren't good at any other type of coverage against these teams, and he saw it in practice, and he put us out there in the best position to win the game. Who knows? But I think with more personnel, better personnel out there, he's going to be able to run more defensive packages. We had a lot of young guys. We're developing them. We had a lot of guys who wouldn't make a roster anywhere else. And to see what we've done with the defense, especially in this last half of this season, I think Aaron Glenn deserves another chance at being the defensive coordinator, at least one more year. I mean, he's getting calls around the league to be the head coach, so he's doing something right. And, once we fired Aubrey Peters, the cornerbacks coach, things really started stepping up. Maybe it was a wake-up call for Glenn. I don't know. Regardless, we turned it around, and I think that alone allows Glenn another year here in Detroit if he doesn't get the head coaching job over in Indianapolis. But we're going to talk about one more coach that came back, and I am so happy about this. This is my boy. This is one of my favorite players growing up. I always wanted to be, like Barry Sanders first and foremost when I was playing football. But when my high school coach decided I'm going over to the defensive side, I wanted to be Dre Bly. And guess who's back in the building in Detroit? Dre Bly is now our cornerback coach, and I cannot be more excited about that. Shout out to the man, Dre Bly. He absolutely was a great player for Detroit, Pro Bowler, went to Denver. I wish he would have retired with the Lions, but, he made a huge impact here. I had his jersey as a kid. Like I said, when I was playing defense, I was a corner, and I wanted to be like Dre Bly. Obviously, that didn't work out because I'm here talking to you about Lions football instead of playing, which I never had a shot anyways. I'm a short guy if you meet me. But Dre Bly, I'm really happy to have him in the building. I think he can really bring a lot of pro football experience to this group. I know Aaron Glenn played too, but just to have another former player in the building, it's huge. I love that Dan Campbell does this, and I love that he brought in Dre Bly, a hometown hero, back into the mix. He didn't, well, not him particularly, but North Carolina is where he came from. He was the D-back coach there, and their passing defense wasn't the greatest. I think they ranked 70th. But it is well known that Dre Bly is very well respected in that locker room and that all the players love him. Apparently, his coaching speaks a lot more than what it showed on the field for North Carolina. But I think that, he's more of a pro-style corner anyways. I think he can come in, to the Lions and really help out that secondary big time. At least that's what I'm hoping, because I love the guy when he played, and I hope that he can make a huge difference just the way that he did when he played for the Lions. I hope that we go out there, Okudah comes back, really has an awakening if he comes back. But, just awesome to see Dre Bly back in the building. And that brings me to my next point. I'm talking some Lions news. We're going to get into some fun stuff. We're going to get into some more fun stuff, and I'll get into the comments. But I want to talk on another Lion that they need to get back in the building, and that is, of course, Megatron. It is reported, and Calvin said it himself, that the Lions and Lions ownership and management are a little bit closer to mending the relationship. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know how much closer. Obviously, they didn't pay him, or maybe they did. But if they didn't, just pay him. We need Megatron back in the building. Have him work with JMO. Have him work with all of our receivers. It would do so much for our team to have one of the best receivers of all time come back to the team that he played for and help out our young receivers. I don't understand why. I think we owe him like $1 million or a couple million. I don't even know how much we owe him anymore. It's so old, and I'm so sick of it that we're not rewarding one of our best players in franchise history. A lot of people feel different about this, but I say get rid of some of these guys who are taking up a lot of money on the cap space, like Vitae, and pay Calvin with a little bit of that money. Get him back in the building. I think it's worth it. Have him work with JMO. JMO, I love his potential. I see what he might be able to do, but if he were able to work with Calvin Johnson, oh my gosh. I mean, who knows what could happen then, but I really think they need to finally just pay the man and get him back in the building. That's the most logical option to me, but what do I know? I mean, he's just first ballot Hall of Fame, your best receiver in your franchise history. Yeah, I don't know. Pay the man. Pay the man. That's all I got to say. All right, I'm going to look into the comments real quick. Steve Wilks gets hired as San Francisco's DC coach, defensive coordinator. Okay, I mean, that's not bad for them. The whole Glenn situation is kind of holding us hostage here. If he does go to Indianapolis, which I don't think he will, then, I mean, I don't know what we're going to do as far as defensive coordinator. Like I said, they'll probably keep it in-house. And I would like to see our linebacker coach with the dreads. I always forget his name. He's a beast. He's got a great story. Love the guy. I think he's going to be a future defensive coordinator, maybe a future head coach in the long run. But I just love his intensity. The way that I saw him, when I saw the way that he coaches in Hard Knocks, I love it. The players love it. Looks like he can still play. But if Glenn was gone, I think that he would be a good candidate to step in there. That's just me right there. Dustin, here we go. Everyone wants AG back. What happens if AG has another year like last year? Then, if it's like wishy-washy, if it's another year like last year, I think it is time to move on. But I think that he did earn another year just with the personnel that he had to work with. I'm not saying that our guys are bad. We had young guys. I love our young guys, and they're developing. But because they're so young and the type of talent that we had on defense and what he was able to do in the second half of the year, I think he did earn another year. But if it's the same result, if he does the exact same thing next year, we start off slow and then he hits it at the end of the season, I think it's time to move on. I really am just hoping that he comes in this next year and our defense is ready to go right off the bat. Hopefully we make some moves to bring in some better personnel, like I said, draft some more defense, and I think we'll be set up a lot better. Aaron Glenn will be set up a lot better, and we should see a big difference. Now, if it's not, then obviously we got to move on. No matter what type of guy he is to the players, you got to see results. And not like I did like what he did in the second half. I already stated that, but it's not going to be enough for next year. I'll say that. All right. All right. Jeff Saturday gets that job in Indianapolis. Yeah, that seems to be what everybody's thinking. He was the interim coach this year. Not too many times interim head coaches get the head coaching job the next year. But I would like to see Jeff Saturday get it just so Aaron Glenn comes back. But yeah, this is some NFC North news. We'll get into some more Lions talk here in a second. I just saw this. Brian Flores is now the defensive coordinator in Minnesota, and that relates to us. He's a good coach, so you know that Minnesota's defense is probably going to step it up. They didn't have the best defense this year. They needed a new defensive coordinator. And I don't like to see when other teams upgrade in the NFC North, but that seems to be the case here. We'll see how it pans out. He could have been a head coach, still with Miami. Well, not still with Miami, but he had the whole controversial thing going on, and he spoke up. And I'm just glad to see that he's still got a job in the league because he deserves it. He's a good coach, and he was just trying to speak up for the right cause. And he's going to get a head coaching job again here soon. But I don't like that a good coach is taking over a spot in the NFC North. So, yeah, we're just going to have to step it up. But we got Ben Johnson back, so I'm not too worried. I think Brian Flores is going to have his hands cut out. His work's going to be cut out for him facing us, and every team should be. Now, I hope that Ben Johnson has some new game plans because everybody's going to be studying us a lot more, and they're going to know what we're going to be doing. But I do trust that Ben's a smart guy, and he can come up with some new schemes, some new plays that are really just going to do the same kind of thing that it did this year. It's going to shock people. You're going to be like, whoa, what are we doing? And it's going to be like, yeah, we did it. But that's at least what I'm hoping. All right, y'all. We're going to move in. I mean, this was off-season talk, but we're going to get into some more off-season talk. It's mock season. It's mock draft season. So, we're going to talk about the latest mock draft. We're getting into draft talk now, folks. So go ahead. Let me see your comments. I want to see who you think we should take or what position we should take at 6 and 18. I'm going to get a little bit into the second round today, but while I'm talking about some mock draft, who do you guys want at 6? If you have a particular player, go ahead and name them. But if there's just a position at 6 and 18, let me know. I'm just interested to see what you guys have to say. But anyways, in this mock draft that I saw, the one that I saw recently today, and it was just a few hours ago, it was from Eric Schlitt of Pride of Detroit. So this is a Detroit guy. Excuse me. But yeah, this is a mock draft from a Detroit guy. So let's see what he's got. He had us at number 6, taking the cornerback out of Illinois, Witherspoon. Now, I did talk about Witherspoon last week, and I like him. I like the guy a lot. Now, at 6, that's a tough decision. If he's not going to fall to 18 and he is the guy that Brad Holmes absolutely thinks we need on that defense, then go ahead, pick him up at 6. But I personally still am with, I hope we trade back a pick or two and acquire more picks in this draft. And then, we'll be able to have a little bit more freedom. But I don't mind Witherspoon. Go ahead and watch his tape. I said that last week. The guy he lays the wood when he comes up and hit. And he's making a big hit every single game. He's good in coverage too. I think he is one of the best corners in the draft. I just don't know with going with a corner at 6. Now, Eric at 18 had us taking Van Ness, the D end from Iowa, or the D lineman. He plays interior and he plays the edge. But I'm not mad at this pick. I think if the Texas Tech guy is there at 6, or obviously if the Carter from Georgia, who I doubt is going to be there, or Will Anderson, we take them. But if we're going Witherspoon at 6, Van Ness is not a bad pick at 18. I just watched. Now I will say I like Iowa, so I watch Iowa, and at first I was shocked. I was like, I don't think no. I was like, don't take Van Ness in the first round. What? But the more and more I'm watching his tape, I'm like, he's actually a Dan Campbell type of player, and he's gonna work hard for you. He's got a motor. I don't know if it's as high as Hutch's, but he's gonna go 100% the whole time he's out there, and a lot of the times you're going to get some great talent in the first round, but they're not going to want to work for you. So maybe it's a safer pick right there with Van Ness because he's going to put his nose down and he's going to work hard for you. So not a bad pick, I don't think. But then here we go. At 48 in the second round, he has us taking Laporta, the tight end from Iowa. So he's doubling up on Iowa. Now, I don't know about that. I don't want to draft a tight end that early still. I like Brock Wright. I like Zylstra. I like what we have going on. If we can re-sign those guys for a cheap deal and then pick up a tight end later in the draft, like if Laporta drops to the third, that's a lot better to me. But what do I know? I don't want to double dip in Iowa right there. I would rather go with, Captain Jack Campbell. But that's who I've been saying from Iowa. But he has Van Ness and Laporta from Iowa, which I'm like, I don't know. But then at 55, he has Jahmyr Gibbs, the running back out of Alabama. So he goes 2 defense first round, 2 offense in the second round. Now, a lot of people want us to address the running back position because they think, we're going to get rid of Swift after this year. It wouldn't be bad to address the running back position, especially maybe get someone behind those guys. I think that we still keep Swift this year, and I hope that we re-sign Jamal. So it wouldn't be a bad choice to get another running back. I know that we do have some guys, but I think, Justin Jackson, who was there, I think he's a free agent. I don't think we're going to bring him back. I know that we, Jamar Jefferson, we drafted him, but he hasn't been playing too much. But if we do draft a running back, I'm not mad at this one. I saw him play. He's a good running back. It's your 4th pick. All right. But I would rather go probably tackle, guard. I don't think we need to address running back in the first 2 rounds, unless you're getting the guy from Texas, maybe. I don't know, but I don't think we need to go there either. I think there's more needs. I'm going to hop into the comments, see what you guys think here. Patty Grimes, defensive line and corner. I agree. At 6, D-line, edge. At 18, cornerback. I think we're all on the same page here. I would flip it up because I think that Witherspoon, I'm with you guys. I want D-line, edge at 6 or, maybe a few picks back if we trade back. And then at 18, I think we can get that corner that we need, whether it's Witherspoon, Keely Ringo, any of them, Joey Porter Jr., any of them. I think one of those guys is going to be there at 18, so I don't think we need to reach for a corner in the top 10. I talked about this last week. I just don't like drafting cornerbacks in the top 10. They don't pan out a lot of the times unless you're Deion Sanders, Sauce Gardner, which, by the way, I don't like Sauce Gardner anymore. He robbed our boy Hutch. Hutch should be the rookie of the year, dang it. Hutch should be the rookie of the year. He earned it. He had 3 picks. That's more picks than Sauce had. Come on now. Just don't even get me started on that. But yeah, here we go. Guard, late second or third. We're definitely going to need to address the guard position, and I'm coming, I'm liking that more and more as the weeks go on. Before I was saying 4 defensive, but I think that we're going to address some defense in free agency to where we're going to be able to draft 1 offensive, maybe 2 in the first 4 picks. But, we're going to see how free agency goes first. We could re-sign Evan Brown. I don't think he played bad when he was healthy. And if we do that, then maybe we don't need to go guard right away because Evan Brown's not bad at all. And our offensive line does well. We've had a lot of guys step up in there this year and play good. Talking about Dan Skipper. I think that we should bring him back just for some depth. But it would definitely not hurt to get a guard or a really good tackle who slipped and convert them to a guard. That's just how I feel. Other than that, I would not be mad, though, with going all defense with the first 4 picks. Regardless, I'm happy that we have 4 picks in the top 60. And Brad Holmes, just go out there and do your magic again. No pressure, bud. Just go do you and draft another elite draft class, and we will be fine. That's not going to happen every year. And people don't get mad when Brad Holmes does draft some busts, or if he does. I hope that it never happens. But the guy has done great things for us so far. I know he's going to hit on a few picks in this upcoming draft. At least I hope so. But if he doesn't on certain ones, we can't get that mad at him because of what he's already done for us. All right. Can both Campbell exist on the same team? Can both Campbells exist on the same team? I think they can. I think that they would form a bond. I think Jack Campbell is a Dan Campbell style of player, and I only see it working out for the best. I want Jack Campbell on the team. I would rather have him over Van Ness and Laporta if they're going Iowa, and I think that we might be able to get Campbell with our second pick in the second round. I don't know. You never know. The combines are going to change a lot of things. He's gonna look a lot slower than he actually is. But he's the best, according to PFF. Like I said, he's the best coverage linebacker in college football. And like I said, when you watch his tape, he does look slow, but he has long strides. He gets there. And he's a Dan Campbell type. Like I said, he loves football. He's going to go out there and wreak havoc for you. So, yes, I definitely think both Campbells can exist on the same team. All right. Here we go. If we sign Payne, then that would change some things. Obviously, yeah, Payne would be a huge pickup. And a lot of people think that he is, out of our price range because he did have a pretty good year. But I think we're gonna cut some people this year, and that are just eating up cap space, who haven't played for us the last few years. I'm talking about Brockers. He better be gone. And I'm talking about Vaitai for sure. Got to be gone. Potentially Romeo Okoro. I would like to see him stay out of those three, and Charles Harris is probably gone as well. But we're gonna free up some money, so we're gonna have some money to work with. And I think that this is the year that we kind of make a splash. Not maybe a cannonball type splash, but we're making a little splash here, and we're not belly flopping. No way. We're going on. We're getting Payne. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that would be a great move for us if it happens. Now, knowing how Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have been in the past, it's looking like they won't do something like that. But I do think, like I said, I just have a gut feeling that this year we're gonna cut some guys, free up some space, and really make a splash, especially on the defensive end. That's my prediction. I hope we get Payne. That would be great. Here we go. After pick six, draft best available player. I agree. Even at 18, if that running back from Texas is there, I mean, that guy is a beast. I keep seeing a lot of our fans wanting him. I wouldn't mind picking him there. If the corners that we want for some reason are all gone, which I don't think there's going to be. There's some pretty good corners in this draft. Go ahead and pick him at 18. But yeah, second round, definitely best player available. Same in the first round. I think that's the way that you got to go from now on. You got to go best player available. We're building to be the best team. And a lot of the times, you can't account. You never know who's going to slip to you. And if this guy who was supposed to go in the top 10 slips to you at 18 and he can make a difference on your team, but you already have a guy who's decent there and you're like, oh, well, we could use another hole. No, screw that. Get that best player. Make that other guy play better because now you have competition at practice. That's just the way that I see it. I like it. Best player available for sure. Holmes was brilliant bringing in Ross at the end of the season. You're right about that. That's what I'm saying. We might not need to address guard or, I just trust this regime so much more than any other Lions regime in the past. I'm not going to lie. They've got my trust. I've never felt this good going into the draft or into the offseason as I have with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. I probably need to stop drinking so much Kool-Aid because when they disappoint me, I'm going to be extra disappointed, and I hope that they don't. Just keep it rolling, fellas. Just keep doing that great draft, the great offseason stuff, and you got me. Yeah, oh yeah, he does play center as well, which is big because, if Ragnow gets hurt, he can slide right over. No, it was an absolute genius move, just like you said, to pick him up. Just like I said, loving what Brad Holmes is doing. All right, guys, I did see something now today on Twitter, and I'm going to address it real quick. I saw someone say that the Lions should trade for Marshawn Lattimore. Now, the guy's 26 years old, and he's a number one corner. He's proven himself in the league, but what do we give up for a guy like that? I would love to have him come over on the team and work with our guys. Reunite him and Glenn. That would be a great duo to reunite. But what's it going to cost us to go get a guy like that? 26-year-old starting corner who's proven himself, Pro Bowler. They are probably, I saw one guy say give up the 18 pick for him. I don't like that. I don't want to give up a first-round pick for Lattimore. Now, if we did give up one of our seconds, if the Saints bid on that, sure, I'm there because he's proven, and he could really help us out. I don't want to trade away draft picks because I like how we are building through the draft. But to go out and get a proven corner, we need help there. And especially a veteran who can help these younger guys and really show them the way. I think it would be a great pickup, but not for a first-round pick. They had him at 18, trading our 18 pick away to him. I don't like that, but he is a great player. I would not mind me personally trading away one of our second-round picks and maybe a future pick. They're going to want more than that for him, but not number 18. Not at all. What do you guys think? You think we should trade for Marshawn Lattimore? You think we should use our 18th pick overall to trade for Marshawn Lattimore? I'm not there. Harris is the same age and not that good at cornerback. You're right. I know. So that's why maybe it's a good call to go out and get him. All right, you guys. I'm going to do a little segment this week, and this is going to end my segment this week. But I'm going to do a way too early 2023 record prediction. And here is our 2023 opponents. I'm going to just go right across. And you guys can laugh at me. You can join in. You can tell me what you think. But this is my way too early record prediction for 2023. I got us beating the Bears at home. That's 1-0. I got us beating the Green Bay Packers at home. That's 2-0. I got us beating Minnesota 3-0. Denver, that's a win. 4-0. Falcons, that's a win. 5-0. Now I'm going to get a little bit more unbiased. I think Carolina's improving. I'm going to say they get us at home. I'm just trying to be unbiased. Otherwise, I give us all wins. I don't have us winning every single game. But I'm trying to be real here. All right? So I got us at 5-1 there. I think we beat the Raiders at home 6-1. I think we get revenge on the Seahawks, and we're 7-1 with our record at home. We're home dominant. I think that we're gonna come out there, play for our fans this year, and we're gonna win the majority of our games. I have a 7-1 at home. Now on the road, we do have a tougher schedule on the road, but I do have us beating the Bears on the road. So that's 8-1. I got us beating Green Bay on the road. 9-1. I got us losing to Minnesota, 9-2. Losing to KC, 9-3. We are 10-3 because we're beating the Saints, but then we're 10-4 because I have us losing to the Chargers at home. We're 11-5 or 11-4, 12-4, and then I have us losing to the Ravens. So yeah, that's a crazy prediction because I am super biased right now and I'm drinking the Kool-Aid like no other. But I have our early 2023 prediction, and mark my words, 12-5, baby, and we're winning the North and getting some home field advantage in the playoffs. I know I'm drinking that Kool-Aid. I know I'm a biased Lions fan, but that's my prediction for next year, and I'm sticking with it. 12-5, baby, with one loss at home. What do you guys see us at? 12 win, 5 losses. I like it. 11-6. Hey, we're all right there. We're all right there. Oh, here we go. Trade Romeo for Lattimore. I kind of like that because I love Romeo, but he hasn't been on the field. But I do like Romeo for Lattimore. Anyways, back to that. 12-5 is mine. We got a sounds good in there. I will elaborate a little bit more on that Romeo for Lattimore. Romeo was our leading sack. He was our best pass rusher while he was healthy. Now we got Hutch. Now we got Houston. We're going to add more here probably, hopefully, in the offseason with the draft or free agency. If Romeo does come back to this team, I know he can make a huge difference. But if we could trade him to get Marshawn Lattimore and help out our secondary, I think that's the move. That's a great idea right there, Charles Davis. With that, like I said, I got the Lions going 12-5 this upcoming season. I'm going to find more to talk about next week. Until next week, everybody, I appreciate you guys. You guys made this fun and interesting today. Join me every single Tuesday at 5 p.m. Detroit time, 4 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. on the West Coast for Touchdown Detroit Lions with your boy Nick Harkson over here on Syndicate Sports Detroit. Until next time, everybody. Peace.
Touchdown Detroit Lions!